Thanks for joining us here at News 8. I'm Chief Meteorologist Burton Fitzsimmons.
And I'm Paul Brown, one of the news anchors here at News 8 Austin, a 24-hour local news channel operated by Time Warner Cable.
We're just two of an entire team of people that put together all the pictures you see on TV, that do all the reporting, the fact-finding, and that bring you news constantly 24/7. Let's take a look behind the scenes. Welcome to the Weather Center. As you may know, Central Texas weather really does run the gamut and can throw us some extremes. During the winter months, we may have to deal with snow and ice, while during the summertime, we reach temperatures in excess of 100 degrees for several days on end. It's our job here in the News 8 Weather Center to keep you informed of what Mother Nature may throw our way, keeping you ahead of the storm. Our computers actually monitor weather stations like this constantly for weather variables like temperature and pressure and rainfall. Another very important tool, radar. We utilize the most powerful commercially available radar in the country.
I'm Rich Siegel, and every day when I get to the News 8 Weather Office, part of my job is to put together an 8-day forecast. Some of the resources that we use include looking at computer models, climate history. We look at the satellite. We look at the radar, and we base our forecasts on all of these variables so that we can come up with a forecast that you can use.
I'm meteorologist Mark Gomez. On average, there's one tornado confirmed in the Austin metro area every year. You can rely on the News 8 weather team to utilize special tools that can show us where a tornado may be developing as much as 15 to 30 minutes before touchdown. We'll track damaging hail before it hits the area. We can also look at the number of lightning strikes in a storm, sometimes counting thousands of bolts per hour.
I'm meteorologist Adam Kruger. Part of what we do here in the weather office is we create the weather graphics that you see on TV. They help us illustrate the forecast visually, and once you learn how to read them, you can plan ahead on good or bad weather. Many of the weather maps you see on Weather on the 8s can also be found updating constantly at news8austin.com/weather. And if you're really serious, you can sign up to become one of our weather watchers. Your backyard thermometer and rain gauge reports might just show up on Weather on the 8s.
I'm meteorologist Maureen McCann. We put it all together right here at this special green screen called a chroma key. Just like Hollywood uses in the movies, our sophisticated computers remove everything the camera sees in green and replace it with our weather maps instead. It looks like we're standing in front of the maps while we're actually just looking at the wall. It's like TV magic.
This is where you typically see me, on the anchor desk here at News 8 in the studios. But you know, this is actually the last part of the process of what takes place here at News 8. Let's go into the newsroom on the other side of the anchor desk to see all the people that make it happen. The day begins during our editorial meetings. We actually have two during the day, and the reporters, producers, anchors, interns, the news directors, all of our staff meet and talk about what should be the stories for the day, and some of the best ideas come from viewers like you. After the meeting, the reporters come here to the newsroom. They'll go to their various computers, check assignments, phone numbers, and then they head out the door for their stories, eventually coming right back here to write their stories. When the reporters come back, they'll bring their stories and start writing them, but they also bring their videotapes that they'll bring to the editors. The editors will then put it into the computer, start editing, and eventually that'll get to the screen and you'll be able to see it. You're now in the control booth. This is actually over on the side of the anchor desk, and this is where the producers, the directors, audio operators all work behind the scenes. The producers are writing the shows. They decide what's going to be showing in what order. Then the directors and the audio operators, they're handling all of the technical aspects of the show. They decide which camera angles to use. They are the ones that allow you to hear from the people that we interview. All of this is very important to bring you the news.
What's the weather going to be like today?
You can forecast your own weather just by looking at the sky and seeing the different types of clouds that we have. Sometimes you might see the cumulonimbus clouds. Those are the ones capable of producing hail, lightning, and possible tornadoes. Or sometimes you'll see those nice fluffy white cotton ball clouds floating through the sky. Fair weather cumulus, a sign of dry weather.
What causes lightning and thunder?
It's basically the same principle as when you rub a balloon on your head, except it's on a much larger scale in a thunderstorm. Static builds up as raindrops circulate up and down in the storm and interact with snow and ice. Eventually, the charge simply builds up.
Where does rain come from?
Because we're so close to the Gulf of Mexico, our atmosphere always has lots of moisture. But clouds have to form, and we have to get those small droplets of water to form bigger raindrops before gravity or storm winds pulls them down to the ground.
Take a moment and think about what you'd do in the next severe weather event. What would you do if you were caught outside when a tornado warning was issued? Let's go over the safety rules. Immediately get inside a safe, sturdy shelter. Get to the lowest level and look for a room without windows, such as a closet or bathroom.
Texas's #1 storm killer, flash flooding. We want you to remember that you should never drive into any amount of flowing water, no matter how deep it looks. Remember, turn around, don't drown.
When thunder roars, go indoors. Lightning can strike a distance of 30 to 60 miles away from a storm, and there's no safe place outside. Until the storm leaves, stay away from windows and anything that could conduct electricity in your home, like corded appliances and plumbing in the shower.
It takes one or any combination of three main factors to make a regular thunderstorm a severe thunderstorm. Hail 3/4 of an inch in diameter or larger, winds at 58 miles per hour or faster, and the presence of a tornado would all make a storm severe.
The National Weather Service issues a severe weather watch when storms are likely in the next 2 to 4 hours, and that means you should keep an eye on the sky as you go about your day. Now, when storms get close enough to be dangerous, a warning may be issued for the area. That means you need to take action immediately. Go indoors and tune into Weather on the 8s for the very latest.
Well, that's the tour of News 8. We hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for coming along.
And don't forget, you can always check us out at news8austin.com. Keep in touch.